Be me, 29 years old male, work as a senior account executive at a logistics software company in Chicago, have been with the company for 5 years. Started when it was just 10 people in a small rented room above a bakery. Now we occupy 2 floors of a downtown skyscraper. I am the top biller, bringing in about 40% of the annual revenue personally. Love the job, love the rush of closing deals, love the commission checks. The culture has always been high energy and competitive. We have a sales gong we hit when a deal over $10,000 closes. We have a leaderboard on the wall. We go out for drinks on Fridays to celebrate the wins and mourn the losses. It is a tight group, mostly guys, but a few very tough and successful women too. Everyone pulls their weight and we have each other's backs. The founder, a guy named Old Man Robert, decides to retire to Florida. We are all sad to see him go because he understood the hustle. He sells his majority stake to a private equity firm. The firm installs a new chief executive officer to modernize the brand. Enter Alina. 34 years old, female, degrees from prestigious universities. She comes in on the first day wearing a power suit that costs more than my car, calls an all-hands meeting immediately. She talks for an hour about synergy, inclusivity, and paradigm shifts. She does not mention sales figures, product roadmap, or customer retention once. I look over at my work partner, Marcus. Marcus raises an eyebrow but says nothing. We decide to give her a chance because we are professionals. First month goes by relatively quietly. I close a massive deal with a shipping conglomerate in Texas. Ring the gong loudly to celebrate. Half the office cheers, high fives all around. Alina steps out of her glass office. She looks disturbed, walks over to the sales floor. Asks us to keep the noise down as it disrupts the creative flow of the marketing team. Marketing team is 3 people who spend most of the day on social media. I apologize and say we are just excited about the revenue. She nods coldly and goes back inside. Next week, the leaderboard is taken down. I ask the operations manager, Sarah, what happened to it. Sarah looks nervous, tells me Alina feels that public ranking promotes a toxic environment of hypercompetitiveness. I argue that we are in sales and competition is literally the point. Sarah just shrugs and says she is just following orders. Morale takes a slight hit, but we keep pushing because the commissions are still good. Then the email comes out. Subject line: cultivating a more welcoming workspace. New policies are listed. No alcohol at company events. Mandatory sensitivity training workshops every Tuesday morning during prime selling hours. A review of gendered language in our sales scripts. I read the email 3 times. Marcus leans over to my desk, asks if we are allowed to say guys when addressing a group of male truck dispatchers. I tell him probably not. The Tuesday workshops begin. We sit in a circle and talk about our feelings. I am thinking about the 3 clients I need to call. Alina leads the sessions personally. She talks a lot about bro culture and how it alienates talent. She looks directly at the sales corner when she says this. I raise my hand, ask respectfully how we define bro culture so we can avoid it. She says it is an intangible vibe of aggression, exclusion, and male-centric bonding. She mentions the Friday drinks and the sports talk in the break room. I point out that our top female sales rep, Jessica, loves football and drinks whiskey. Alina smiles condescendingly, says Jessica has internalized the patriarchal expectations of the industry. Jessica rolls her eyes so hard I think they might get stuck. Fast forward 2 months. Sales are slightly down because we are spending so much time in meetings. I have a potential client, a construction magnate named Big Mike. Mike is old school, likes steak, likes cigars, likes to look you in the eye. I arrange a dinner meeting with him to close a 6-figure contract. Marcus comes along as my technical support. We take Mike to a high-end steakhouse. We eat, we drink, we laugh, we talk about the Bears game. Mike signs the contract on a napkin before the dessert arrives. Next morning, I come into the office feeling great, slap the signed contract on Sarah's desk, go to get coffee, get a calendar invite. Meeting with Alina immediate, walk into her office. She is sitting behind her desk looking like a judge. Tells me she saw the expense report for the dinner. Accuses me of excluding female colleagues from the networking opportunity. I explain that it was just me and Marcus because we are the account handlers. She says taking a client to a steakhouse is exclusionary coding. Says it reinforces the old boys club mentality. Tells me I should have taken him to a neutral venue like a coffee shop or a vegan bistro. I laugh, thinking she is joking. Big Mike would have walked out if I took him to a vegan bistro. She does not laugh. She gives me a formal written warning. Tells me that future client entertainment must be pre-approved by HR to ensure inclusivity. I am annoyed, but I swallow my pride. I have a mortgage and I like the money. Things get worse. Alina hires a new VP of sales, a guy named Julian. Julian has never sold a thing in his life. His background is in organizational psychology and culture optimization. Julian wears cardigans and talks in a soft voice. He holds meetings to discuss our emotional bandwidth for the quarter. He creates a new script for us. It is full of buzzwords and lacks any aggressive closing techniques. Forbids us from using pressure tactics. I try to explain that logistics is a high-pressure industry. If a truck is empty, they lose money every minute. They need solutions fast, not empathy. Julian says I need to deconstruct my aggressive approach. I ignore his script and keep selling my way. I am the only one hitting quota. Marcus tries to use the new script and loses 2 longtime clients. He is stressed out and drinking more at home since we cannot drink together. The atmosphere in the office is dead. Nobody talks. Everyone is afraid of being reported for a microaggression. The sales gong has been removed and replaced with a kudos jar. We are supposed to write nice notes to each other on sticky paper. The jar is empty. The quarterly review approaches. My numbers are stellar, as always. I account for 50% of revenue now because everyone else is failing. I walk into my review expecting a raise or at least a good job. Alina and Julian are both there. Alina starts by saying my numbers are impressive. However, she says, the word hangs in the air. She says my cultural fit is becoming a problem, says my refusal to adopt the new script is insubordination. Says my lone wolf attitude is damaging the team cohesion. Claims my presence makes others feel unsafe because of my imposing energy. I am 6 feet tall and wear a suit. I am not a monster. I ask for specific examples of me being unsafe. She says it is not about specific incidents, but the aura I project. Julian nods in agreement, clutching his notebook. She gives me an ultimatum. Sign a performance improvement plan, which is really a personality reconstruction plan. Agree to undergo mentorship with Julian. Apologize to the team for my toxic masculinity, or resign. I look at them. I look at the revenue charts I prepared which show I am carrying the company. I look at Julian, who looks terrified of actual confrontation. I realize I cannot win this. Even if I stay, I will be miserable. I stand up. I tell them I decline the plan. Alina looks surprised. She expected me to beg. She says, "So you are resigning?" I say, "Yes, effective immediately." I hand over my badge and my laptop. I tell them good luck with the culture. Walk out of the office. Marcus sees me packing my box. He looks panicked. "What happened?" he whispers. "I'm out," I say. "They wanted to declaw me." Marcus looks like he wants to cry. I tell him to call me later, leave the building. Feel a strange mix of terror and relief. Call my girlfriend Vanessa, tell her I just quit. She is a nurse, she deals with life and death. She asks, "Did you punch anyone?" I say, "No." She says, "Then we will be fine. Let's get pizza, spend the next 2 weeks sleeping late and playing video games." It is the first break I have had in 5 years. Then I update my resume. Post on LinkedIn that I am open to work. Within 24 hours, I have 10 recruiters in my inbox. My reputation in the industry is solid. People know I deliver. I interview with a competitor, Logie Fast. Their office is loud. Phones are ringing. People are shouting across the room. There is a pudding green in the corner. The sales director is a guy named Tony. Tony looks at my numbers from the old job. You did this volume in that market, he asks. I say yes, you're hired, he says. Base salary plus 20% commission, start Monday. It is that simple, no personality test, no mood board, back to the grind. I feel alive again, I start calling my old contacts. Non-compete clause in my old contract was poorly written by Alina's legal team. It is unenforceable in this state. I call Big Mike. Ethan, he yells, where the hell have you been? I called your office and got some kid named Julian who asked me about my feelings. I laugh. I'm at Logie Fast now, Mike. Better rates, faster trucks. Send the contract, Mike says. Just like that, I move a massive account. Over the next 3 months, I systematically move my entire book of business. Clients are relieved to hear from me. They tell me horror stories about my old company, missed shipments, unreturned calls. Weird emails about holistic shipping solutions instead of price quotes. Meanwhile, I stay in touch with Marcus. We meet for beers on Fridays. Marcus looks terrible. He has lost weight, he has dark circles under his eyes. Tells me half the team has quit. Jessica left for a real estate firm. The new hires are all like Julian. They sit around discussing theory but cannot close a door. Revenue is in freefall. Alina is panicking. She fired Julian because his soft approach was not yielding results. Now she is micromanaging everyone herself. She is calling clients and lecturing them on their carbon footprint. Clients are hanging up. Marcus says the investors are getting involved. The board is furious. I tell Marcus to come to Logie Fast. I get him an interview with Tony. Tony hires him on the spot because I vouch for him. Marcus hands in his notice. Tells me Alina actually screamed at him, called him a traitor to the vision. Marcus just laughed and walked out. Now the old team is reunited at the new place. We are crushing it. Logie Fast is seeing record growth. 6 months pass. I am sitting at my desk ringing the gong after closing another deal. My phone buzzes, unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Check the message later. It is a female voice. Hello, Ethan, this is Alina. Please give me a call back when you have a moment. It is regarding a potential consulting opportunity. Her voice sounds different, less arrogant, more strained. I play it for Marcus. We laugh until our sides hurt. Consulting opportunity, Marcus says. She wants you to save the ship. I decide not to call back. 2 days later, another call. She leaves another voicemail. Ethan, it is Alina again. It is urgent. We need to talk. Please, she sounds desperate. I discuss it with Vanessa that night. Vanessa says you won, you don't owe her anything. I know, I say, but I am curious. Curiosity killed the cat, Vanessa says. But satisfaction brought it back, I reply. I decide to text her. Busy with work, what is this regarding? She replies instantly. Can we meet for coffee? 10 minutes. Please, I agree to meet her at a neutral Starbucks on Saturday morning. I walk in. She is sitting in the corner. She looks tired. No power suit today, just a sweater and jeans, no makeup. She looks like a normal human being who hasn't slept in a month. I sit down with my black coffee. Hello, Alina, I say. She looks at me. Thanks for coming, Ethan. Awkward silence. So, what's up? I ask. She takes a deep breath. The company is in trouble, she admits. I heard, I say. Word travels fast. We lost the Texas account. We lost Big Mike. We lost everyone. That tends to happen when you fire your sales team, I say calmly. She flinches. I made mistakes, she says. I thought I could change the industry. I thought the culture was the problem. The culture was the engine, I say. You poured sugar in the gas tank. She nods, looking down at her cup. The board gave me 30 days, she says. 30 days to turn revenue around or they liquidate the assets and sell the IP. That sounds stressful, I say. I need you back, she says. She looks me in the eye. I need you to come back as VP of sales. I need you to bring the clients back. I lean back in my chair. Alina, I have a great job. I make great money. I work with people I like. Why would I come back to a sinking ship? I will double your base salary, she says. 50% commission on all returned clients, equity, a seat on the board. The offer is insane. Financially, it is a goldmine, but money isn't everything. And the culture, I ask. What about the bro culture, she sighs. I don't care about the gong, she says. I don't care about the steak dinners. I don't care if you talk about football. It's not just about that, I say. It's about respect. You treated us like we were defects that needed fixing. We are sales animals. We hunt, we eat. That is what we do. I know, she whispers. I didn't understand. I thought it was toxicity. I didn't see it was camaraderie. If I come back, I say, things change my way. Name your terms, she says. I take out my notebook. I had prepared a list just in case. 1. Julian's policies are burned, gone, done, she says. 2. Marcus comes back as director, same pay bump. Okay, she says. 3. No more sensitivity workshops during sales hours. We sell from 8 to 5. Politics is for after work. Agreed. 4. The gong comes back. She manages a weak smile. The gong comes back. 5, I say, and this is the most important one. You stay out of the sales pit. You run the company. You handle the board. You handle the product. But the sales floor is my kingdom. You don't step foot in it unless you are bringing us coffee or commission checks. She hesitates. This is the hardest part for her, giving up control. Giving up the idea that she is the moral guardian of the office. She looks at her hands. She thinks about the bankruptcy. She thinks about explaining to her father that she destroyed his legacy. She looks up. Deal. She reaches out her hand. I shake it. Her grip is firmer than I expected. I will have the contracts drawn up by Monday, she says. Monday, I say. I walk out of the Starbucks. Call Marcus immediately. Pack your bags, buddy. We are going home. What? Marcus asks. We are taking over and we are getting paid double. Marcus starts screaming with joy on the phone. Monday morning, I walk into the old building. It feels like a graveyard. Quiet. Empty desks. The few remaining staff look depressed. I walk straight to the sales floor, dump my box on my old desk. Marcus walks in 5 minutes later. He is carrying the gong. We hung onto it. He mounts it back on the wall. Clang. He hits it just to see. The sound rings through the silent office. Heads pop up from cubicles. People look confused. Alina walks out of her office. She stops at the edge of the carpet. She remembers the deal. She nods at me, then turns around and goes back inside. I stand up on my chair. All right, everyone, I shout. Listen up, the funeral is over. We are back in business. Get your phones, open your old lists. We are calling everyone. First person to close a deal gets a bottle of Blue Label on me. The energy shifts instantly. It is like waking up the dead. People sit up straighter. Eyes light up. They were starving for leadership. Starving for permission to do their jobs. I start dialing. Call Big Mike again. Mike, don't kill me, I say. Let me guess, Mike says. You're back. I'm back, and I'm the boss now. Did you get rid of the feeling police? They are gone, Mike. Just trucks and steaks. Send me the transfer forms, he laughs. I close 3 deals before lunch. Marcus closes 2. The gong is ringing every hour. The noise level rises. Laughing, shouting, the sound of commerce. By Wednesday, the vibe is completely different. I hire back Jessica and a few others who left. We are a unit again. Alina keeps her word. She stays in her office. She handles the angry emails from HR about our noise levels and deletes them. She manages the finances. At the end of the month, we hit the number, barely, but we saved the company from immediate liquidation. The board gives us a reprieve. 3 months later, we are breaking records. The bro culture is back, but it is different. It is not actually exclusionary because I make sure of it. I realize Alina was right about one thing. We needed to be more aware. So I make sure the women on the team feel just as empowered to be loud and aggressive. Jessica is now the scariest person on the floor. She outdrinks Marcus at the Friday happy hour. The team is diverse not because of quotas, but because we hire killers regardless of who they are. We bond over the struggle, not over gender. One Friday evening, we are all heading out to the bar. I see Alina standing by the elevator. She looks lonely. She is the CEO, but she is isolated. She saved her company, but she lost her crusade. I stop the group, walk over to her. Alina, I say. She looks up, surprised. We are going to O'Malley's. First round is on the house. She hesitates. I don't think I would fit in, she says. Probably not, I admit, honest. You are too stiff, she cracks a smile. But you can learn, I say. Come on, she looks at the elevator, then at the group of loud, happy salespeople. Okay, she says, just for one drink. We go to the bar. It is loud, it smells like beer and fried food. We get a booth. Marcus starts telling a story about a driver who got lost in a cornfield. Everyone is laughing. I hand Alina a beer, not a craft cocktail, just a domestic draft. She takes a sip. She grimaces. Acquired taste, I say. She relaxes a little, watches the team, sees the bond we have, sees that it is not about hate or exclusion. It is about survival. It is about blowing off steam after a week of rejection and stress. She starts to understand. Later that night, she asks me a question. Do you think I was wrong about everything? I think about it. No, I say, you wanted respect and decency, that is good. But you tried to force it by killing the spirit, I continue. You cannot legislate culture, Alina, you have to build it. And sometimes culture is messy, it is loud, it is rough, but it is real, she nods. I am learning, she says. We all are, I say. Cheers, we clink glasses. Fast forward 1 year. Company is acquired by a major global player. Huge payout for everyone. My equity is worth enough to retire, but I won't. I am too young to play golf. Alina steps down as CEO after the acquisition. She starts a nonprofit for women in business. But this time, her approach is different. She focuses on mentorship and competence, not just policing language. She invites me to speak at one of her events. How to Build a Team That Wins is the title. I walk onto the stage. Audience is mostly young women in suits. I see Alina in the front row. She gives me a thumbs up. I start speaking. Sales is war, I begin. But it is a war you fight with your friends. And it doesn't matter who your friends are as long as they cover your back. Crowd loves it. Afterwards, Alina and I grab dinner. We are friends now, genuine friends, you know, she says. I hated you when I first met you. I know, I laugh. I thought you were a robot. I was, she admits, a programmed robot. You broke my programming. And you taught me that having a structure isn't always bad, I admit. The HR files are definitely more organized now. We laugh. Life is good. I learned that you have to stand your ground for what works. But you also have to be willing to forgive. The bro culture wasn't the enemy. The enemy was the misunderstanding. Once we bridged that gap, we were unstoppable. Still have the gong in my office. Still ring it loud. And every time I do, I see Alina in the hallway. She doesn't cringe anymore. She just smiles and yells, "Good job, Ethan." Balance restored. Feels good man, real good.